Okay, so tonight is the first night of Navaratri. Navaratri means 9 nights, and it's a celebration. It's a Hindu holiday that celebrates the triumph of goddess Durga, whose name means tough going. She's a badass warrior goddess who triumphs over many demons, but this is a celebration of her winning a battle with the demon of certainty, of stuckness, a buffalo demon, a big creature that kind of stands in the way. And the story of her battle with him is long and beautiful, and I would love to share that with you. I have shared that with some of you in other places, and we will go deeper into that some other time. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of the background of what this holiday is. It's literally a celebration of the feminine softness and vulnerability and receptivity and generative creative power triumphing over dogma and stuckness and immovability and certainty, which leads to tyranny. So you can take that into yourself and watch the places in you where you can allow a more soft and receptive aspect of you to work with the parts of you that are stuck and dogmatic. We all have those parts. We are all the demons and the gods in the stories. We are, as my philosophy teacher Douglas Brooks always says, we are every character in the story. So the first night, every night celebrates a different aspect of Durga. And the first night celebrates one of the aspects of Durga, who is an aspect of this is how amazing and beautiful the Hindu mythology and symbolism is. It's all broken down into many pieces so that we can find ourselves in the shatteredness of the universe, and so that we can find ourselves in everything, and we can find everything in us. So this goddess of the first night, her name is Shailaputri, and which means daughter of the mountains. And this is an aspect of Parvati, who is known as the mother of Ganapati, of Ganesha, the elephant-headed god from the Hindu tradition. And she's the beloved of Shiva, the great god of yoga, and of the destruction of the status quo, and the capacity to expand ourselves and to create a deep relationship with the cosmos. And she is that relationship. She is the connection making. Parvati is his beloved. And so Shailaputri is the aspect of Parvati who is the daughter of the mountain. So the mountain is the wild place. It's the untamed place. It's tough, it's rough, it's not an easy terrain to live in, to dwell in, to be in. It's where sages go to meditate, right? It's where we turn away from society and back toward nature. It's where that so one of the Parvati. This is so a lot of things. So Parvati is an aspect of Kali, and Kali and Durga are aspects of each other. And Kali is the goddess of darkness and primal urges and primordial presence. She's death. She's the devourer of all. She is time, which devours us all the time. That's what her name means. And so Shailaputri is an aspect of Kali. She seems like a civilized and culture-like character, like Parvati is. Parvati doesn't seem to us like the wild one. She doesn't seem as dark and fierce and ferocious as Kali. Kali wears skulls on as a necklace, right, and bones as a belt. But Shailaputri is dressed in garments that are red, so she kind of wears the blood on the outside, and she seems beautiful. She has jewelry on her, ornaments on her, and she is the daughter of our wildness. So she reminds us to hold the space between the civilized and the untamed, the aspects of us, to stand in the space between the aspects of us that are fierce and kind of out of control and primal and primordial, and know how to work with them, know how to still be the wild self as we live in a human society, how to not lose our untamedness as we live in the everyday world of society, and how not to lose the civilized as we turn ourselves toward the wild. It's the weaving of both. And I see Shailaputri as very much of a weaving goddess. She's an aspect also, again, the brokenness and the many layers of Sati, who is the previous incarnation of Parvati, who throws herself into the fire of the sacrifice, of the ceremony, of the ritual that her father creates. And he invites everybody in the universe to come and participate in this ceremony except for Shiva. And Sati her heart is broken because her choice in life, her choice of love isn't accepted by her father. So she shows up and she's fiercely upset about it, and she throws herself into the sacrificial fire and she burns. So she is the rage that we experience when we feel unseen and unheard, the sadness and the grief and the loss, that when our choices aren't working out, when we feel like we can't find our way through society, through our relationship with our family of origin, right? So there's a lot of psychological layers in these stories. And I'm just throwing bits and pieces at you so that you can grab whatever speaks to you and maybe take that in today. You might not watch this on actual Navaratri day one. You might watch it another time. Great. Then you take that in, you hear it, and you let that speak to you in whatever way that it does. And one of the symbols that are accompanying this goddess is that she rides the bull. The bull, Nandi, the bull, who is the bull, who is the vehicle of Shiva. And I always say that, Shiva is the Lord of Yoga, and he rides a bull. So I always say, be careful as you walk the path of yoga and spirituality, because it is full of bullshit, right? So we enter this conversation with a culture, with teachings that are supposed to help us dive deeper into creating meaning and value, and take us into what is spirituality, right? It's this invitation to go into something deeper and bigger than ourselves. And then we find so much bullshit, so much fakeness along the way, right? So Nandi, the bull, is the ride of Shailaputri. And he is the bull is always a masculine wildness presence that is also very much a part of civilization, because even though the bull is it's not a tamed animal, but if you think of cattle, it's been such a huge part of the domestication of the human and of domesticating animals, right? Who domesticated who? That's a good question to ask. But the cow and therefore the bull are, again, this invitation to sit in the space between the domesticated and the wild, the uncontrollable, right? Her ride is the uncontrollable, fighting the demon, fighting the energy that is trying to control, the energy of authoritarianism, right? But Mahisasura is like the authoritarianism and the religious fundamentalism of the world. So she rides the masculine wildness, and she is sitting in that space between where the wild and the domesticated meet and interact and weave together a fabric of reality. And she holds in her right hand, she holds the trident, which is the Trishul in Sanskrit. And it's a representation of her threefold. She's mother, she's maiden, she's crone, right? Like if you think of Kali and all of her forms. She's gonna hold all the roles, and we all humans, and then all women and all people with wombs, we all, it doesn't matter the gender, we all hold the energies of a fresh outlook on the world, a fertile energy in the making, and we all hold the ability to be fertile and to nurture and to nourish something or someone, and we all hold the aging and the dissolving of and the shedding of skins, and the wisdom and the powerful ability to sit on the throne of experience and knowledge of the crone. So it's not a gender thing, it's an invitation into something deeper than that, into code, into the way that the mythic and the symbolic takes us into the unconscious. So in one hand, she holds a threefold, and the threefoldness is not just maiden, mother, and crone, but it's also the inhale, the exhale, and the space between. It is the states of waking, dreaming, and dreamlessness. It's all the ways that our conversations unfold into three, because oneness is never oneness. Oneness is always made of duality. There's always another thing. She is the goddess of opposites, and if there's always an unfolding into two, then there is always unfolding into three, because there's you and there's me and there's our relationship, right? And if it folds into three, it folds into many. So the oneness is never appearing as one. It's always an unfolding of manyness. And in her other hand, she holds the lotus, which is also an invitation into opposites, into duality, into ambiguity, because the lotus is so beautiful and often is representing, for so many people, something of pureness, but nothing is pure. Right? Nothing is pure. Everything, this world, this reality, this life is always messy. We're always going to be, well, good news, bad news. We're always going to be a mess in one way or another, and we're always going to be in the process of trying to collect ourselves. So it's both. Again, it's the both end. The lotus is beauty, and it's like the gem of the depth of our heart. And guess where it grows? It grows in the murky, muddy waters of the pond. So it is both end. It holds the promise that you are a gem, and that your jewelness, your preciousness has to grow in the wet, messy soil of existence, that you grow out of the things that may feel dark and heavy and maybe even a little dangerous. That this is where the most profoundly meaningful aspects of us can grow. So those are just little bits and pieces of Shailaputri, little bits and pieces of Durga for this first day of Navaratri. And I want to invite you right now to do a little mantra and mudra practice with me. The mudras we're going to take are going to be Anjali Mudra, which is the heart's deepest offering. We're going to let it unfold into Padma Mudra, into the mudra of the lotus, and then unfold into Trishul Mudra, into the mudra of the trident. And the mantra is Om Devi Shailaputriye Namaha. So it's salutations to Shailaputri, to the daughter of the mountains, to the great goddess, the great light, who is the daughter of the mountains. So I'll just chant it and you join me if you'd like, or you can close your eyes and listen to it. And I'll just chant and move the mudras in this way from one into the next, and you can do the same. Om Devi Shailaputri Namaha. 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 Thank you so much for joining me on Mama Mandala. I'm Hagar, by the way. Thanks for joining me on this little Navaratri first night journey. And if you like this, if this speaks to you, if myth and symbols do something for you, they are evocative, and you want to go deeper into practice, into embodied philosophical and somatic mythological concepts, I would love to invite you to Bond with Your Life, which is a course coming up on Mama Mandala, mamamandala.com. You can, I'll leave a link for you in the description of the video, and you can look that up. It's going to be a gorgeous journey through empowerment and transformation, and lots of symbols and myths coming at you with deep practices and somatic cues to help you feel more grounded and relieve stress and grow your confidence and make more room in your life for pleasure and enjoyment. So I so hope that you can join me, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much. Happy Navaratri. Mwah. Namaste.